All right, MLO Network. We were supposed to stream live. I need to call up Kean and Brian and get them to teach me how to be better at streaming Facebook Live. I probably should have gone to their event on St. Patrick's Day. But either way, we're coming back to you guys recorded. We just recorded this a couple minutes ago. I've got new friend, Anthony Mosley, who's from Michigan. He and I have been kind of watching each other on Facebook, and just a couple minutes ago, we're like, hey, this is weird. Like, we feel like we know each other, but we're really talking face-to-face for the first time. This is like the method of the future. You meet people, you chat with them, you email, you text, and next thing you know, you meet them online. Who knows if we'll meet each other face-to-face soon. But
true.
Either way, that was the whole point of us doing this today, was that we wanted to talk to you guys and share some of what we've gathered over the last couple of years when it comes to standing out and being different, right?
Right.
Like that. You know, vanilla's cool, but anybody can get vanilla. And at the end of the day, if you're Rocky Road, or if you're something that's a little more flashy, people remember you, they come back to you, and that's worked pretty well for you and your team, right?
Yeah. I mean, it all starts with, I guess, boredom.
Boredom.
Dude, I've been doing this for 17 years, and it got to after the collapse, it was just I really started maybe getting confident at that point, and it was me looking at the way everybody was doing everything, and everybody was doing everything the same way. And to me, it was boring. I mean, it wasn't who I was, and I don't think it was. I still to this day I look at people that I coach, and that's not who they are. I mean, your first step is you got to figure out who you are and who you want to work with. Mm-hmm. And if you can't be yourself, and if people don't appreciate you being you, that relationship with them is gonna F up down the road, man. I mean, it comes down to it. If you can't go out and have beer with the people that you're associated with in business, or hang out with, or have a conversation without feeling anxiety, it's not worth it. So what I did is I just said, I threw caution in the wind. I said, F it, dude. I'm gonna do this shit my way. And it wasn't necessarily, let's start here though. If you're a loan officer, the number one thing you need to do, I don't care if you market yourself in a pink teddy, it's got to be that you got to know how to write a damn loan. And that's been part of the frustration for me lately, is seeing LOs out in the business. You're very passionate about the VA side, right? I'm very passionate about even my competitors having a homeowner that they pre-approved that got jacked up because they didn't know their job, right? So first and foremost, study.
Yeah, you made a great video on that. I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, but that one you just posted yesterday was great.
Yeah.
You ended up tagging me, which was cool, but it was same kind of thought process. How about we get the docs up front and make sure that we actually know this guy's really ready to rock and roll? And if he's not, how about we just tell him to pump the brakes a little bit and fix what's going on? And if the borrower's got a problem with it, we don't want to work with agents that aren't okay with us asking for documents. We don't want to work with borrowers that aren't okay with us asking for documents. We need freaking documents. It's our job, you know?
Well, yeah, it goes back to that confident level. If you're not confident enough with your agent relationships to tell them the truth and set the right expectations, like Todd said, set the right expectations. And the reason I brought you up, because he talked about how you kicked this loan's ass, but it's because you did it the right way, right? You set the right expectations up front. Our competitors out there, man, especially the ones that are on TV, their Super Bowl halftime shows, I mean, they're like, yeah, we'll get you pre-approved in 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 30 seconds. Mm-hmm. Bullshit, man. You can't. Yeah. It's impossible.
Yeah.
There's no way you can do it.
Exact case on that loan. It was one of the advertisers, and I'm not going to say that publicly. I'm trying so hard not to bash people.
Don't do it, man. Don't do it.
But I mean, they told this guy he's good to go. Go find your house, get it under contract. I'm like, dude, you're a reservist. You need more documents than just a freaking screenshot to get your COE. Let's track them down. Oh, you don't have them. Oh, we need to go to the National Archives. Oh, we need to call your unit. Like, this stuff. He was ready to write an offer. And I'm pretty sure that the guys at the, whatever call center he was working with would have ran into the wall quickly, and he wouldn't have closed on time. And it would have perpetuated that myth that the VA loan is not a bad loan. Oh my God, I knew it was going to fall apart, VA. These are always bad deals. No, they're not bad deals. Just nobody told the guy what paperwork he needed. But who did? But I mean, I think a lot of guys nationwide, a lot of gals, people in this group have caught wind of your video marketing, of your, you know, your real estate ride along, and they, you know, they want to copy you, they want to be you. No one can be you, but
Right.
you know, certainly standing out and doing things differently has helped you a lot in your market. Not just that. Let's talk about some of the different things that you've done in the last, you know, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, or whatever that made a difference.
I mean, the first thing I think anybody needs to do out there when it comes to building your brand, and it's called build your brand. I actually, this got in my head from a realtor, Steve Volkers. He's pretty he's a good speaker nationwide. He got this whole brand thing down. And so he's talking to me one day and he's like, what's your brand? And I had to figure it out. So the first question we got to ask ourselves is, who are we and why are we doing this? Why are we in this business? And then what's our favorite part of it? What's our passions and what's our pains? And then you look back and you think about, what can I do that's different that is associated with this business? I happen to be, there was a minute where I was hitting a juice bar every Tuesday, drinking wheatgrass shots and other nasty stuff with real estate agents and having conversations about business, right? And then I have this friend, Sherry, who she's Boss Lady Realty. I mean, that's her brand.
Mm-hmm.
And I started talking with her, a video guy, about, you know, I love this Jerry Seinfeld show called Riding in Cars with Comedians Having Coffee.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And so I was like, it would be cool if I could just ride around with real estate agents and start talking about life, not just being a real estate agent, but who they are and what the intricates are. Because if you can let your client know who you are and they see who you are, just like we're trying to let the real estate agent know who we are, then that's going to help them out. So in essence, it's also creating a platform where they're like, hey, I want to be on Anthony's show. So I talked about doing this forever. And then one day we're sitting in this car in the juice shop and she goes, when are you going to do it? When are you going to quit talking about it? Just do it. So I said, all right, smart ass. You know, we went outside, we got in my truck, and I've had 2 iPhones, no mics, nothing. And we drove and we did this. And my buddy Hector edited some things in there and we put it out and we got a huge amount of views. And then I stopped doing it. And then I was like, why did I stop doing it? And then we started doing it again, did about 10 episodes. And then I picked up a editing team I'm part of Hero Nation, which is a real estate and mortgage coaching group across the nation led by Wayne Salmons out of Texas. And I met this video editing guy in that group. He's a flipping genius. His name is John Reinhardt. He's with Free Dream Studios. Look him up. He'll consult you on ideas that you have, and very inexpensive. And after my 10th episode, I let him take over, and we sat and talked on a Saturday morning via phone, because you don't need to be sitting in front of someone these days. And he asked me a zillion questions and told me to go shoot my next episode. About that time, I have 2 GoPros up, an iPhone, and he taught me how to use a shotgun mic. So I went and bought like a $59 shotgun mic and used another phone as like a receiver for it. And I shot it, and 27 minutes, 30 minutes in the car with this agent, having a really good time talking about things. And when I got the final episode back from him, I mean, he's cut down to 5 minutes. I'm like, how the hell do you do this shit? Well, he did it. He pulled the content out that was fun and exciting, right?
Right.
So now we went from getting 100 views to 7,000.
Yep.
5,000, 3,000, 2,000, 7,000, 5,000. And it's like, now we got something. And now I got agents calling me saying, hey, I want to be on your show. Agents that would never give me the time of day before.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to do this by being me and being authentically Anthony and having fun and having people eat hot candies and nasty stuff. And it was just fun. So now it's actually created a movement around here that I'm trying to teach my LOs how to do this in a different way. That's their personality, that it's their brand. Mm-hmm. And even consulting with different LOs across the nation right now, right? That are like, hey, dude, what can I do? What should I do? You know, and let's sit down and talk about who you are, first of all, mm-hmm. what your passions are, mm-hmm. and let's wrap that into the business. So the business is not so boring anymore.
I dig it, man. I really dig it. You know, and a lot of the things that you just kind of said, I've heard from different folks around the country, and I've experienced a little bit here and there. You know, like for example, you're talking about condensing the clip to 5 minutes. And that's kind of important because people don't, you know, even in this group, you and I are making this call. If we go beyond 20 minutes, not a whole lot of the LOs are going to watch it. I've got one of these from Brian Stevens that got a lot of replays. That's almost an hour long, but it's hard to be entertaining and engaging for, you know, more than 5 minutes usually. You know, another thing that goes right back into that is, you know, you and I both watch Brian Stevens a lot, and he always tells me to be entertaining, enriching, or engaging. You know, have a purpose to what you're doing, or people tune out really quick. So, you know, making it funny, making it entertaining. I don't know if you watched that hangout I did with him in here a while ago or not, but he was talking about going to comedy training, you know, versus everyone's like, oh, I need to go to Toastmasters. I need to practice my presentation skills before I get on video or teach classes and all that stuff. He's like, no, dude, just watch Comedy Central and, you know, maybe go to a comedy class and just try to be yourself, you know?
You know, we spend so much time thinking about ideas that we have that we never do them.
Yep, I agree.
Because we're afraid it's not going to be perfect. It's going to fail. It's going to do this or that. Just get the hell out of there and do it. I got a productivity coach I work with here at Keller, one of the Keller Williams offices I work with, and he's got a girl that started fresh in January that he just has her doing a daily vlog with her phone, you know, just talking. And dude, she is crushing it right now because it's just created brand awareness. Like even my wife has brought her up. She's like, who's this girl? And I'm like, pretty sweet though, right? You know, but it's never going to be perfect, Fish. You know what I'm saying? We're going to start and then it's going to change. And
this timing is serendipitous. I bought Garrett White's Warrior book because it finally came down to an affordable $100 price. And I cracked it open and I went straight to the section on social media because I looked at the index. And that's exactly what he was saying. He was like, quit trying to, you know, plan your blog and plan this and plan that. He's like, just freaking record a video every day and make that your video blog. Start out on Facebook. And then once you get in the habit of doing it, okay, fine, hire somebody to transcribe it, hire somebody to script it out, start actually writing. But he's like, just freaking get in the habit of doing that first. Put yourself out there. Put some content out there. Get people to know you. Your audience doesn't know you. Just like you and I were saying at the beginning of this call, this is how people are meeting nowadays. They're meeting on screen. And I'm imagining that you have, at this point in the game, you have something similar to what I've got, where like I walk around town and people are like, hey, I know you. I've seen you before. And like, I have no clue who you are. But you saw me on one of my Facebook videos, you know?
Man, the first time it hit me in the face was I was at my son. He's in the what is he, 9 now? We went to his conferences this year, the first quarter or whatever. And my wife and I are walking behind my son, and this lady comes up, taps me on the shoulder, and she goes, hey, I know who you are. And I'm like, what? Thinking like maybe I coached her kid on T-ball or something like that. And she's like, you got that show where you drive around real estate agents. And I was like, no shit. That's awesome.
It's really cool. That's really cool, man. I like how you made it a show. It's so cool. And, you know, like we've been trying to help some of the LOs in my boot camp program. This isn't a pitch for that at all. But we found we have to kind of give them a model and a script. And like what I do is I say, well, guys, we eventually want you to think outside of the box. But in the beginning stages, how about you just stay in the box and learn how to use a phone and learn how to record the video. And we'll give you some of the, you know, the VA guidelines. We'll call those realtor recons. And then we want you to get past that. But we want to get you in the habit of talking and producing and posting and all that kind of stuff. And then we'll graduate you to that next level. And that's worked for some of our folks really well. I don't always know if that's the best route, but sometimes I think, you know, people just need some kind of script or some kind of kick in the pants to get going too. But
well, yeah, man. I mean, it's your purpose. What's your purpose?
Right. Yep.
My purpose was to get in conversations and dialogue with agents.
Yeah.
Dude, not all those agents I have interviewed, I have even done work with, or any of my people done work with. There's some that are very loyal to their lenders, and I respect that. I mean, I have a couple of lenders coming up that I want to interview. It's the content, right? If someone's going to relate to me through them seeing me, then that's the relationship that works. We're not always going to fit with everybody, Fish. We don't get along with everybody. I mean, not everybody's going to dig the way we do things. And that's why it has to start with the confidence you have in yourself to be you, right? To know you don't have to be Michael Fisher. You don't have to be Anthony Mosley. You know, you don't have to be Brian Stevens. Shit, look at Brian, man. When he first started, when it was a Think Big, Work Small, he was pretty clean cut. Throughout the ages, Brian he's himself, man. He does him. I've had the opportunity to sit down and have beers with him. I've had the opportunity to talk with him. He's authentic. He's not trying to fake it and be someone he's not. And people are either going to love him or hate him. But guess what? He's got a lot more lovers than haters, man. And when he goes home, when he's going home at night, he feels good because he didn't have to go put a facade on. He owned up who he was, and he did it, and he owned it, and people, it works for him.
I totally agree, man. I mean, you know, there was a time frame where I had a hard time with that. And actually, Brian helped me with this a lot, actually, maybe 6 to 9 months ago. And he and I were talking a lot because we're trying to figure out how to help him with Listing Booster and how to be better at video marketing. And, you know, a lot of my friends implemented more than I do. It's kind of embarrassing. But, you know, Brian kept talking about being authentic and being a likable person. And, you know, the other part of it is it's okay to say things that repel and attract people as long as you're just not a jerk all the time. You know, there's a way to attract the right people into your life and your circle without just being completely repelling and offensive. And
yeah, that is true. We're service providers. We're not out. This is not a comedy show. So
right.
We have to remember that there's the purpose. So what is the purpose in what we're doing?
Yep.
You and your buddy, the big dude with the hat and the sunglasses.
Yeah.
I mean, you get on there and you guys are kicking some knowledge, right? You're doing what you're doing. You're being you. Like that guy right there looks like he's about to go in and kill about 42 people in some other country. But he's kicking knowledge and there's purpose of what he's doing there.
I got a fun story for you and it involves Brian Stevens. So we're just going to, you know, this is a little bit off the cuff and this is not, you know, if you're from Wells Fargo, you might want to tune out right now or one of the big banks where you know, you can't play this kind of stuff in the office. But we were at Brian Stevens' video event, not this year, but last year. And Jay and Kean and a couple of the LOs, you just found a bar in downtown Vacaville. We were just hanging and socializing and talking. Well, even though Vacaville seems like a nice area, apparently it has some younger hoodlums that like to throw beer bottles and get in fights. Well, one of those things broke out in the bar, and we had a group of maybe 20 LOs, and Kean and Jay stand up. I mean, you've seen Kean before. He's like a freaking linebacker. Some of those guys like run into Kean and Jay. Both of those guys, one arm, flinging them into the wall. And I'm like, dude, I am so glad to be associated with Kean and Jay. If I ever go to a bar again, I'm going to make sure one of the guys is with me just in case a bar brawl breaks out. Because they're like the security guards were like thanking them. They're like, hey, you guys want a job?
Yeah, man. Keep a big guy keep those gorillas with you, man.
Exactly. Oh my God.
So back to, hey, dude, if we can. Here's the thing. It's fun. I have social anxiety disorder and I battle with depression on a daily basis. If I can't make my job fun and exciting, then what's the point of me doing it, right? Mm-hmm. So when you look at people and they're going to do some kind of video marketing or blogging is the term, I guess. If you can do it in a way that you're having fun, then your day at work's more fun. And I think people are gravitating to people that are having fun. Mm-hmm. Okay, so yeah, I could be Mr. Stuffy LO and sit at a desk with a tie on every day, and that's how I do business. Or I could go out there and go take a shot of wheatgrass with somebody, or eat a freaking flaming hot Cheeto, or whatever, and talk to them about the business. Because our relationships are like this. I think where a lot of LOs are going wrong, and I really want to talk about this for a second, is when I talk to realtors, they feel like they're being sold. Okay? Fish, when you go in an art van, you have art vans out there?
Oh, yeah. There's a huge one in Novi right down the street from me. Yep.
You feel like you're getting raped by someone's eyes when you walk in there?
Oh, dude. When you go in on this, like Saturday morning, if you go in right when the doors open and you look at the number of cars that are all just the salespeople, it's crazy. They've got like 30-some salespeople on the floor. And, yeah, it's like sharks. Absolutely.
Okay, so these real estate agents right now, here's the way they feel. They feel like every time they see an LO, they turn around and run the other way. They're hiding, they're ducking, they're running for cover. Okay. Right now, I'm sitting in a real estate office because I had a meeting here this morning, and they let me sit here and talk with you. And I see four. I mean, there's 3 lenders upstairs in this building, and then I've seen LOs come walking in and out of here, and they drop off the donuts, they drop off the cookies, and then they're out. And it's funny to watch the agents like try to not make eye contact with them. I mean, I even have that happen with me. So when that's going on, okay, what can I do to make this fun? So the analogy of the marriage is what I use quite frequently. Let's say you're going to go set an appointment with a real estate agent. What are you going to talk to them about? Like, how does that start? Are you going to go in there and say, hey, I have 30-year rates at this, my VA programs, my FHAs. Oh, we can go up to 150% and consolidate student loans. They don't give a shit about that. You got to go in there and build that relationship with them. So let's rewind. How did we even get to know that person? Well, if you're vlogging and talking about things, the Todd Duncan brought this out back in the day of going from invisible to visible to value. The vlogging and these social media things we're doing, whether it's real estate ride along or military mortgage boot camp or national real estate post, those things are all done to become visible. Mm-hmm. So now when we walk up to someone, it's a little easier to shake their hand and say, hey, you want to get together sometime and have a Coke? You want to get together sometime and have a beer? And just go have a flipping conversation with them, man, and get to know them. Because you might get done with that conversation and say, man, I never want to do business with that person. Or you might walk away and say, dude, we could actually be buddies. That's how you start a relationship, man. That's what 90% of our industry is getting wrong right now. I see some of these kids going out there, and I say kids because I'm 40 now, and they're just like trying to get the agent in bed on the first date. I mean,
I say that all the time. I say that to recruiters all the time. I got a couple emails where I just email them back. I'm like, dude, you're trying to get to second base. I mean, can we have a coffee first or something? I mean, come on.
Oh, I said that one time on LinkedIn because LinkedIn's famous for the pre-made messages they send out. Mm-hmm. And I said, do you even know who I am or what my needs and wants are? Mm-hmm. And he got poopy with me and was like, well, you must think you're too good for our company. I was like, no, man, I'm just trying to help you out. Like, is this what you do, everybody? I mean, Brian kicked some knowledge out one day about there was the mortgage company that turned themselves in for messing up with FHA loans. Good for them, dude, right? Mm-hmm. And then he started talking about recruiters afterwards. And I sat there laughing my ass off because I was like, he's so right, man.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't I post the one day of the lady that leaves the messages? It sounds like Marge Simpson.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, what is that?
But it's the same thing. You have LOs doing the same thing. And I don't want to bash any of the coaching programs that are teaching them to do that. But, I mean, they're picking up the phone and they're dialing like robots. And I try to help them sometimes. And then I even find people bashing me because I'll try to give them a simple script. And they'll be like, oh, Fisher, that's not going to work. I'm like, well, then just be authentic. I don't know. Like I usually say something like, hey, agents that work with me generally are going to close 2 or 3 or 4 more deals a year because the help that I give them with social media and stuff like that. But I don't cold call agents like that and pester them. I get, just like you, I get them to know me. A lot of what I do in private groups. I kind of drive the agents to a private Facebook group, and that's where I actually post most of my videos. And most of the interaction that I do is on Messenger and in private group video. Yeah. Where I'm getting to know all the agents. And the coolest thing about that, and I don't know if you've experienced this at all, but when all the agents get to know you, how much easier is it to get your offer accepted? I mean,
perfect, man. Perfect. So like in our area right here,
you want to work with them. You still want them to know who you are.
It's true, man. And I get calls, even though I'm not originating right now, I get calls from agents that say, hey, I got an offer. I got a letter from one of your LOs. Do you mind taking a look at it for me real quick? I can essentially call my processor and say, hey, how does that one look? Oh, it's perfect. I'll call them back and say, yeah, man, it's good to go. But they feel comfortable with calling me about it.
Yeah.
And when they're looking at that offer compared to something else, that's a very valid point though, man. If people don't like us, they're not going to accept the offers that we're writing,
Exactly. So, yeah, you got to be a little careful. That was my point. Because I was going a little too far. I'd done some coaching and somebody was telling me to repel, and I agree with that, but it's not good to repel the local agents in your market when you have to turn around and have offers coming in with their name attached. So you got to be a little bit politically correct at times because of that, I think. But
so let's start here. Let's end here, or when we are going to end. But let's challenge anybody that's watching this video that is not already doing it. Let's start from scratch. Let's start a vlog. Let's take your damn phone, put on selfie mode, turn it sideways, not straight up, because straight up will give you the bars, right? Yep. Turn it sideways and talk into it about something interesting that happened today with your job. Don't talk about rate, terms, or fees, because we don't want to violate any kind of compliance ordinances, right? Mm-hmm. Have you noticed I never talk about mortgages on my show?
No, hardly at all.
The only way I can get it past compliance, man.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get on there.
Coincidentally, why when we're training people like in boot camp and our other programs, it's the same thing. Like, you can talk about guidelines. You could talk about things that are not related to the actual program themselves, and you'll be okay. But the minute you start talking, you get in trouble for sure. Compliance will eat you up.
So let's say show people you're excited about what you do. Man, I had a closing today. It was amazing. It was great to help someone achieve home ownership. I mean, God, I love what I do. Boom. Okay. Or, man, I'm eating this piece of meatloaf today. This is amazing. I love meatloaf, man. Oh, my God. This is as warm as the real estate market is right now. I don't know, dude. Do something today. I had this $1 million idea, okay? I think this would blow YouTube up. I'm going to throw it out there. Anybody that wants it, take it and run with it. And if you are afraid of bad language, please forgive me for what I'm about to say. But let's say you know those bathrooms that have like 2 stalls? Mm-hmm. What if you did a show called Talking Shit? And you're in a stall and the agent's in the other stall, or the title person or whoever, and you guys both have your cameras and you film it. You both film while you're talking, and then you take it and you edit that joint. I mean, that'd be an easy edit.
Oh my God, that would be fantastic. Who's got the cojones to pull that off? That's the question.
I don't know, man. See, I don't want to repel anybody, but if I could just, I don't know, man. I don't know, maybe it'll work.
I like that. I mean, I feel like you need a comedian like Little Dicky to help you pull that off, but I think either way you'll be good.
I think Brian Stevens could pull it off.
I think he could. Maybe that's a challenge show. We'll see if we can challenge.
Or maybe he wants to do talking shit with me, and he can do it in his bathroom there, and I'll do it in my bathroom here. And
God. So what would you tell the LO who, like, I know you're doing more of the branch managing and less of the loan originating? That's sometimes what I hear from the other LOs is, I'd like to do all the stuff like you guys, but I don't have time. What would you tell that person that
let me bust this quote out for you. Let me bust this out for you, man. I wrote this quote down the other day I heard, and it was, people that say they don't have time are denying accountability. Mm-hmm. Saying I do not have time is denying accountability. Mm-hmm. If you're procrastinating, it's because it's not important to you, right? We've all seen that video online. But let's see how many things we could take out of your day to increase time. Let's talk about time wasters. Stop doing $10 an hour work. Okay, what I mean by that is if you're a loan originator and you're packaging, if you're having to collect all the documents on your own loans, if you're having to package it up and give it to a processor, if you're having to do all the admin work yourself, you're not going to get over a couple loans a month production. Okay, that's why your average loan officer across the nation is doing 2-3 loans a month, if that. I forgot. I think Brian's in 1 to 2. So number one, time waster. Stop doing $10 an hour work. If you want to get bigger, either go to a company that's going to provide that position for you to help you out, or come out of your pocket and pay someone $10 an hour to do your paperwork for you. All right. Stop the blame game. We waste so much time on blame. A lot of people want to blame the company they work for, whether it's Van Dyke, Ross, Caliber, or whoever. They want to blame the company for their failures. It's bullshit, man. Our companies provide us with a lending platform. Okay.
There's folks in all those companies that are making like over 300,000. In some cases, making close to $1 million.
Yeah.
And oh, those guys, they were lucky, and come on, dude. They came from the same past. They had the same problems. They had the same uphill struggle.
Yeah. Let's stop comparing ourselves to others.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge time suck. We got people sitting saying, "Oh, I want to be Michael Fisher." Michael Fisher's Michael Fisher. He does he's doing what he does. Do what you want to do.
I came to work today in this. Like, do you think that's going to fly at most companies? I mean, whatever.
Hey, man, I'm going to take that class just so I can get one of those shirts. And avoid being unprepared for things. I mean, if you're going to go in and have a meeting and talk with someone, know what you're going to talk. At least have a game plan of what you're going to talk about. Don't go in and it be like the awkward first date with the girl where you don't know. You just kind of sit there kind of silent, man, because that real estate agent afterwards will look at you and go, wow, that was awkward. And then every time they see you in the future, they're going to walk the other way because they don't want the awkwardness to happen again.
I call that I've been talking about this topic a lot. I call that finding your voice. And it's, you got passionate about something in particular. And the more you talk about it and the more you make videos about it, the easier it gets for you to get somebody on board with what you're trying to communicate. And I think sometimes you need to pick something that you really excel at or really passionate about. Like you said, finding your why, and learn how to best communicate it, whether it's a 10-minute lunch and learn, a 30-second phone call, an hour class. Either way, the better you are at communicating that one little thing that you really, really, really rock at, the better those meetings are going to go.
Yep. Totally. So, brainstorm, come up with some crazy ideas. I recommend keeping something around you at all times to write on. I know it's going to sound weird, but sometimes my best ideas come after my second drink of the night. I might be sitting at home just having a couple drinks. Like last night I was watching the Real Housewives of New York season premiere with my wife, right? Uh-huh. And don't judge me. And I came up with I had something was running in my head, and it's something I'm going to do. And I wrote it down. So this morning when I get up, I look at what I wrote down, and it kind of empowered me to get my day going even stronger today. Mm-hmm. I know people talk about journals and shit like that, but the best self journal is pretty dope, man, because it breaks down what are the 3 things you really have to do today and times you have to do it, and then something you learn for the day, right? And if you break down your goals and focus on maybe just a few things, as opposed to just walking into the day and being reactive of what kind of poop gets slung at you during the day, it's going to help you get those actions done. You'll feel more fulfilled at the end of the day. So the whole thing about I don't have time, when I sit down with some of my MLOs and they're like telling me how busy they are, I say, okay, write down what you did yesterday. Mm-hmm. And after we start looking through that, we start realizing that, damn, that time, that's a time suck. Mm-hmm. I really didn't really work much. I did a 2-hour lunch. I left to go to the dry cleaner at the middle of the day. Oh, I forgot to pay my phone bill, so I ran to AT&T. Oh, I did this. I did that. I didn't even get to work till 10:30, which I'm not judging.
I see LOs do that all the time. Like, what are you doing? I'm running to the store to pay my phone bill. Like, dude, why? You only have so much time in the week. Come on, man. Come on, seriously.
Yeah. Right. Or do yourself a favor and take Friday off. So Friday, I don't mean take it off, because we never take time off, right? We're always got our phones on. We're like doctors. They page us. Hey, I need a pre-approval. All right, cool. Make Friday that day, right? Do your work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Tell all your agents that you're working. You tell them Friday. You say, hey, look, I know you're going to be out putting some offers this weekend. You need to hit me up, man. If I don't answer right away, leave a message. I'll get right back with you. Take that day to do your miscellaneous things, whether it's you want to spend some time, go to your kid's school for an activity. You got to go pay your phone bill. Who knows what it is you're doing. But maybe I'm not saying that's the best way to do it, but when you're throwing these distractions in your productive day, it kind of ruins your momentum and everything that you have going.
Totally get it, man. So if you're watching this and you thought that that Anthony and I were just going to be funny the whole time, I mean, sorry, we got a little bit serious, got a little bit deep. But where do they go to? I mean, they can watch you, right? You're okay with the LO watching your show, right?
Oh, dude, I love it. And I love talking to LOs. In fact, I am opening a coaching clinic for LOs. Real estate agents get out there and they get their coaching. And I hate they even use the word coaching. Maybe mentoring and brainstorming. I want to do a brainstorming clinic with LOs because it's not the same game anymore. It's evolving. And if we don't evolve with it, we're going to lose, man. We're going to sink right in the sand.
That's the whole point of this Mortgage LO network. That's what I was hoping to contribute to the industry myself, to give back for, all the industry's given me, is give these LOs a chance to say, hey, let's band together against this robot automation mentality that, the computer can do our job and somebody that's trained for 5 minutes can take care of our customers. And we can sit here and talk all day about how that's not true, or we can actually help each other make it not true. And that's what I'd like to do. And my contribution isn't the tech part of it. It's helping the LOs get out of their own way to realize they need to start doing things like this in video. They need to start learning the tech. They need to be funny. They just need somebody to help bring them together. They need perhaps some glue. So,
yeah. Think about it this way. I got hit in the face with this one last week too by my coaches. Or we're on the Hero Nation call, and he says, Wayne Salmon says, the business is not hard. People are. The business is not difficult. People are. Master the art of the people.
I agree, dude. I agree. So we're going to cut the call off, but I'm going to challenge you to set up an MLO network event somewhere in Grand Rapids, because we got at least a dozen people in and around Grand Rapids. I will drive over there. You got to make it end of you got to ask me the date, because I'm going to be in Dallas for the boot and shoot, and I'm going to be in San Diego for that event, and then I got a VA London conference. So I'd like to come out there though with you guys, and maybe start a little network group in your part of the woods too. So
yeah, absolutely. There's a couple guys out here that have been trying to get everybody together. It's just not happening. So maybe if we made it an official gig between Kalamazoo, Lansing, Grand Rapids, it would be a nice little event.
I'll tell you the secret. It becomes official when you put it in the calendar.
True.
It's tricky, but I made the people in Dallas put one in the calendar, and it sounds like they got 15 going now. I mean, Dallas is a big enough city. Eventually, they'll have more going, right? But you got to start somewhere. So, cool, dude. Well, I appreciate the time. If you guys haven't seen his show, check out his Facebook page. It's freaking kick ass. And we'll see. I'm sure, hopefully, see more of you in the MLO network. And just appreciate what you're doing to give back to the industry and your community and brand yourself and all this kind of stuff. So, this is cool, dude. I dig it.
Reach out. I will help. That's my passion in life, is to help people. So if I can help you want to be helped, that's even better. Hit me up. It's you can hit me up at Real Estate Ride Along. You can hit me up, Anthony Mosley. You can hit me up at those places. Freaking Facebook's awesome, Fish. It feels like we've been friends forever, dude.
We have a lot in common. I keep finding people that I have a lot in common with in this industry that I never would have known. And I could go on for days, but there's a lot of folks out there that feel the same way, have the same struggles, and we're just trying to learn a better way to adapt to our new way of communicating, like we said, on video. So hopefully we inspired you guys to take some action to make more videos than you're making now. And that's all we got, man. We're both long-winded.
All right, go fail forward. It's fun.
Exactly. All right.